In 1938, a duo the likes of which America had never seen was thrown onto the air. Abbott and Costello's rapid-fire comedy routines were worked into many of their films. In response to the massive popularity of the Universal monsters, including Bela Lugosi as Dracula, Boris Karloff as Frankenstein, and Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman in the 30s and 40s, and their fall out of popularity by the late 40s, it was left to Abbott and Costello to reinvigorate the public's desire for a monster movie. The two accomplished this through their appearances alongside the original actors in 1948's Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, 1951's Abbott and Costello Meet the Invisible Man, and 1953's Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Abbott and Costello had stumbled upon a goldmine of comedic material, and the best part was that it stemmed off of material that had already been produced. The two did not consciously create the parody genre, but they did open the doors for the current model of parody production to be unleashed on the American public. Mel Brooks skipped into mainstream cinema with his writing and directing debut, The Producers, in 1967. While not a parody by nature, the film did subtly undercut and question the Hollywood system of making movies and its corruption through characters who purposefully put on a terrible musical in hopes of making money off of dumb investors. The film also established Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder as a comedic powerhouse. It also contained one of the greatest musical numbers and performances of all time, Springtime for Hitler. After beating out the Battle of Algiers and 2001: A Space Odyssey, Brooks was an established writer and director in Hollywood.
And the winner is Mel Brooks for the producer. I'd also like to thank Gene Wilder. I'd also like to thank Gene Wilder. I'd also like to thank Gene Wilder. Thank you very much.
In 1974, he embarked on a grand quest and successfully completed two radically different films. The first was Blazing Saddles, and there's a good chance it wouldn't be released today due to its rampant racism and stereotyping.
Good morning, ma'am. And isn't it a lovely morning?
Up yours, nigger.
He didn't have a major part in the film, but Brooks did make two appearances. Once during Sheriff Bart's flashback as a Native American chief, and a few times as Governor William J. Lepettimane, who wears his jacket just to make sure that everyone knows that he is governor. Mel Brooks has a fantastic way of setting up jokes that the audience thinks that they will go one way, and then 180 degrees opposite into more stupidity. Like the governor not finishing his words. Another example is when Mongol, a big outlaw, comes to town and doesn't do exactly what every other outlaw is doing.
Hey, you can't park that animal over there. It's illegal.
Near the end of the film, in one of the greatest occurrences of fourth wall breakage ever, the characters of Blazing Saddles break out of their set and into another where people are filming a musical.
This is a closed set. Piss on you. I'm working for Mel Brooks. Not in the face.
Next for Brooks, in the same year, was Young Frankenstein. Shot in black and white as a tribute to the original Frankenstein, the film plays off of audience expectations through development of characters that they think they know, such as the lead man who pronounces his own name wrong and a hunchback assistant who doesn't know he is hunchbacked.
No, it's pronounced Frankenstein. Of course, I'm sure we'll get along splendidly. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to embarrass you, but I'm a rather brilliant surgeon. Perhaps I could help you with that hump.
What hump?
And lighting that is more often than not lightning itself. Not in Brooks' earlier work as much, in Frankenstein he has explored the running joke, in which every time a character says a certain name, the horses outside go crazy.
After you, Frau Blucher. Blucher!
And in regular Brooks fashion, following a failed attempt to reanimate a corpse, he sets up a joke only to take it where it had no business being.
When these things would happen to him, the things he'd say to me.
What did he say?
What the hell are you doing in the bathroom day and night? Why don't you get out of there? Give someone else a chance.
He also decided to head back to the song and dance portion for Dr. Frankenstein and the Monster's excellent rendition of Puttin' on the Ritz.
Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, or cutaway coat, perfect fits.
From an extremely drawn-out spaceship sequence, to the direct poke at episode 5.
Father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
In Spaceballs, due to the cult-like following of Star Wars and Star Trek, Mel Brooks had a lot to work with. Lightsabers positioned strangely. Direct pokes at the material he parodies from.
I'll take a shot at it. What the hell, it works on Star Trek.
And unexpected stupidity following them.
Why didn't somebody tell me my ass was so big?
Small visual gags that would become a staple of later filmmaker styles. Although breaking the fourth wall wasn't what his career was based off of, in Spaceballs, Brooks did it with ease. From killing his own crew members to as far as to have the characters of Spaceballs watch Spaceballs to figure out what to do next in Spaceballs.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
Now. You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening now.
What happened to then?
We passed then.
When?
Just now. We're at now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now? I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.
When will then
In terms
be
of
now?
cinema unconventions, however, the team that followed Brooks was a different, yet totally laugh-out-loud hilarious event. With Airplane in 1980, the team of Jim Abrahams and brothers David and Jerry Zucker burst out onto the big screen. ZAZ films found their niche mostly in visual gags such as the only doctor on the plane wearing a stethoscope, lighting up the runway, and crash positions. In addition to simple wordplay such as the famous cockpit miscommunication, they were also known for instances in which they break the fourth wall, which became a staple in later films. Airplane was littered with running jokes the likes of ex-pilot Ted Stryker's habit of boring each one of his seatmates to their death,
only one that we had broke down in a bad accident.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
and the airline employee who has apparently picked the wrong week to quit all of his vices.
Wrong week to quit amphetamines. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
With their 1988 film The Naked Gun, the ZAZ team quite nearly perfected the visual gag through the relentless stupidity of Leslie Nielsen's character, Detective Frank Durbin. He sits on the control panel that folds the bed at the hospital while a fellow police officer, played by a young O.J. Simpson, was lying wounded. He crashes his car, gets out, and the airbag puts it into drive, resulting in a much larger accident.
I gotta get inside. What do you mean?
Take a look for yourself.
He doesn't know how to use a microscope.
Use your open eye, Frank. Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
Come up with something that would clear my good friend's name.
Crashes his car relentlessly.
Hospital with Ludwig shipping record.
I want you to know it. Practice safe sex.
And when practicing safe sex, he and his date don full-body condoms. In addition to Frank Durbin's stupidity and the countless jokes that result from it, The Naked Gun has the only breaking of the fourth wall that compares to the soundstage scene in Blazing Saddles. The brilliance of this short sequence lies within its subtlety. Let's look at it again.
You've done it again. Mazel tov. Good work, Ted. What will you laugh boys think of next?
Just
Now
beautiful.
that you mention it, here's something we developed only yesterday.
Producing some of the best comedy of the 80s and 90s with Airplane, Top Secret, The Naked Gun, Hot Shots, all subsequent sequels, and the original Police Squad television show, the ZAZ team carried the great parody torch and also watched it die in America. Although they did help out on Scary Movie 2 and 3, arguably the best in the series, in America all the latter films with titles ending in movie should be confiscated. Attempts to reinvigorate the genre have proved for the most part futile, and for every bad horror movie of the 21st century, there are also hundreds of bad parodies. I wonder who will be the next person to speak with their heart at the podium when accepting the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay.
Just the best of luck, Mel. Do me a favor, huh?
You did 20 minutes, you killed my whole thing already.
The tanks will be in Friday.
The tanks. Thank you very much. I didn't trust myself in case I won, so I wrote a couple of things here. I want to thank the Academy of Arts, Sciences, and Money for this wonderful award. Well, I'll just say what's in my heart. Ba-bump, 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 ba-bump. But seriously, I'd like to thank Sidney Glazer, the producer of The Producers, for producing The Producers. Joseph E. Levine and his wife Rosalie for distributing the film. I'd also like to thank Zero Mostel. I'd also like to thank Gene Wilder. I'd also like to thank Gene Wilder. I'd also like to thank Gene Wilder. Thank you very much.